March 15th, 44 BC. Rome. It's just after 11 a.m. The Senate is meeting at the Theater of Pompey. Julius Caesar, dictator of Rome, conqueror of Gaul, the most powerful man in the world, walks into the chamber. He's wearing his purple-trimmed toga. He's unarmed, confident. Around him are 60 senators, friends, colleagues, men he's known for decades. In exactly 8 minutes, he'll be dead, stabbed 23 times by men he trusted. And here's what most people don't know. We can reconstruct almost every second of those 8 minutes. Who struck first? Who hesitated? The exact moment Caesar realized he was going to die. For the next 8 minutes, we're going to walk through Julius Caesar's assassination second by second. Not the Hollywood version, not the legend, the real thing, as it actually happened. Let me show you how Rome's most powerful man died. To understand these 8 minutes, you need to understand why this is happening at all. By March of 44 BC, Julius Caesar had done the impossible. He'd conquered Gaul, modern France, adding millions of people and vast wealth to Rome. He'd crossed the Rubicon and won a civil war against Pompey, the previous most powerful man in Rome. He'd made himself dictator, not temporary dictator, not emergency dictator, dictator perpetuo, dictator for life. And Rome. Rome was a republic. They'd gotten rid of kings 450 years earlier. The whole system was built to prevent any one man from having too much power. But Caesar? Caesar had all the power. He appointed magistrates, he controlled the legions, he decided who lived in the Senate, and worse, at least to the senators, he was acting like a king without calling himself one. Sitting while senators stood, accepting honors like a god. Rumors said he wanted to be crowned king of the eastern provinces. To traditional Romans, especially the old aristocratic families, this was intolerable. A group of senators formed a conspiracy. About 60 men eventually joined. They called themselves the Liberatores. The Liberators, their leader, Marcus Junius Brutus. Yes, that Brutus, the man Caesar trusted, maybe even loved like a son. Some rumors said Brutus was actually Caesar's illegitimate son. Caesar had an affair with Brutus's mother decades earlier. Whether true or not, Caesar trusted him completely, and Brutus was about to betray him. The conspirators picked March 15th, the Ides of March, because the Senate was meeting and Caesar would be there. Unarmed, surrounded by them, they had a plan. They had daggers hidden under their togas. And Caesar? Caesar had been warned. Here's the thing. Caesar almost didn't go. A soothsayer, a fortune teller, had warned him weeks earlier. Beware the Ides of March. His wife Calpurnia had nightmares the night before. She dreamed she was holding his dead body. She begged him not to go. A friend named Artemidorus wrote him a note listing the conspirators by name. He tried to hand it to Caesar that morning. Caesar was handed the note. But he never read it. Why? Because he was Julius Caesar. He'd survived battles in Gaul, civil wars, assassination attempts. He'd been captured by pirates as a young man and survived. He didn't believe anyone would dare. So on the morning of March 15th, despite the warnings, Caesar left his home and headed to the Theater of Pompey where the Senate was meeting. His friend Mark Antony, the famous Mark Antony, was supposed to go with him. But some conspirators delayed Antony outside with conversation. They wanted him away from Caesar. Caesar walked in alone. The theater's curia, the Senate chamber, was a large rectangular room with tiered seating. About 60 senators were there that day. Caesar took his seat on a golden chair at the front, the chair of the dictator. The conspirators were scattered throughout the room. Each had a dagger hidden under his toga. And then, right on schedule, the plan began. 11:02 a.m. The approach. A senator named Tullius Cimber approaches Caesar. He has a petition, his brother is in exile, and he wants Caesar to pardon him. This is the signal. Cimber kneels in front of Caesar, begging. Other senators crowd around, joining the plea. Caesar waves them off. This is inappropriate, we'll discuss this later. But they keep pushing in, closer, surrounding him. Caesar starts to get annoyed. What are you doing? Back off. 11:03 a.m., the trap. Spring Cimber grabs Caesar's toga at the shoulder, hard. Caesar stands up, angry. This is violence. And in that moment, with Caesar standing, surrounded, off balance, a senator named Casca strikes. 11:03:15 a.m., first blood. Casca pulls a dagger from under his toga and stabs at Caesar's neck. But Casca's nervous. The strike is weak, glancing. It cuts Caesar's shoulder, not his throat. Caesar spins around. He's a soldier. His instincts kick in. He grabs Casca's wrist with one hand. With his other hand, he's holding his stylus, his writing instrument. He stabs Casca in the arm. Caesar shouts in Latin, "Casca, you villain! What are you doing?" Casca screams for help. "Brother, help me!" 11:03:30. I am. The swarm. And then everyone moves at once. Daggers come out from under togas. 20, 30, 40 senators surging forward. Caesar tries to fight. He's 55 years old, but he's Julius Caesar. He's been in battles. He knows how to fight, but he's unarmed, surrounded, outnumbered. Senators are stabbing wildly, not coordinated, panicking. They're stabbing each other as much as Caesar. Cassius stabs Caesar in the face. Brutus Albinus stabs him in the side. Decimus stabs him in the ribs. They're not trained assassins. They're aristocrats with knives. It's chaos. 11:04 a.m. Caesar fights. For about 30 seconds, Caesar is fighting back. He's using his toga as a shield, wrapping it around his arm. He's punching, kicking, trying to break through the circle. He's bleeding from multiple wounds, but he's not down. Ancient sources say he fought like a wild animal. But there are too many, and they keep coming. 11:04:30. I am. He sees Brutus. And then, through the crowd, Caesar sees him. Marcus Brutus. Stepping forward, dagger in hand. Some sources say Caesar had been fighting viciously until that moment. Saying nothing, just surviving. But when he sees Brutus, who he trusted, who he mentored, who might be his son, something breaks. The ancient historian Suetonius says Caesar spoke. Not et tu, Brute? That's Shakespeare. In Greek he said, Kai su teknon? You too, child? And Brutus stabs him. 11:45 a.m. Caesar gives up. After Brutus strikes, Caesar stops fighting. He pulls his toga over his head, covering his face. Some historians think this was dignity, Caesar making sure his body would be found modestly covered. Others think it was shame. He didn't want anyone to see him die, and some think it was simply that he knew it was over. He staggers backwards. The senators are still stabbing, frenzied, out of control. Caesar collapses at the base of Pompey's statue. Ironic. Pompey, the man Caesar defeated in civil war. Caesar dies at his statue's feet. 11:05 a.m., the final second. Caesar falls, blood pooling around him. The senators step back, breathing hard, shocked at what they've done. 23 stab wounds. Ancient autopsies suggest only one was fatal. The second strike to his chest pierced his heart. The other 22? Panic. Rage. Overkill. Julius Caesar, dictator of Rome, conqueror of Gaul, master of the known world, dies on the Senate floor. Time of death. Approximately 11:05 a.m., 8 minutes after he walked into the room. For a moment, nobody moves. The conspirators are standing there, covered in blood, holding daggers. Caesar's body is at their feet. They thought this would be a moment of liberation, that Rome would celebrate. Instead, there's just silence. And then someone screams. The other senators, the ones not in the conspiracy, run, fleeing the chamber in terror. The conspirators panic. They didn't plan for this. They thought they'd be heroes. Brutus tries to make a speech. We've freed Rome. Liberty is restored. Nobody's listening. Everyone's running. The conspirators flee too. They run to the Capitoline Hill, the religious center of Rome, and barricade themselves there. Mark Antony, remember he was delayed outside, hears the chaos. He runs. He thinks he's next. Back in the Senate chamber, Caesar's body lies alone, in a pool of blood, at the foot of Pompey's statue. For hours, nobody touches it. Everyone's too afraid. Finally, some of Caesar's slaves arrive. They carry his body home on a litter. Ancient sources say blood dripped from the litter all the way through the streets. So the conspirators killed Caesar. They saved the Republic. Except they didn't. They wanted to restore the Republic. Instead, they destroyed it. Because here's what they didn't understand. Rome's problems weren't because of Caesar. Caesar was a symptom, not the cause. The Republic was already broken. Too much territory, too much wealth, too many generals with private armies. Killing Caesar didn't fix that. Within days, Mark Antony turned the people of Rome against the conspirators. He gave a speech at Caesar's funeral, yes, the Friends, Romans, Countrymen speech, though Shakespeare dramatized it. Antony showed Caesar's bloody toga to the crowd, pointed out each stab wound. Rome erupted. Mobs hunted the conspirators. They fled the city. Within 2 years, civil war. Brutus and Cassius raised armies. Mark Antony and Octavian, Caesar's adopted heir, raised armies. At the Battle of Philippi in 42 BC, Brutus and Cassius were defeated. Both committed suicide. Within 13 years, Octavian became Augustus, Rome's first emperor. The conspirators killed one dictator and created something worse, an empire. The Roman Republic, which they murdered Caesar to save, died with him. 8 minutes. That's how long it took to kill Julius Caesar. 23 stab wounds, 60 conspirators, one dictator dead, and Rome changed forever. Not because they killed a tyrant, but because they killed the wrong man at the wrong time for the wrong reasons. They thought they were saving Rome. They were ending it. If you want more history told second by second, moment by moment, the way it actually happened, subscribe and hit that notification bell. Because history isn't just about the big picture. Sometimes it's about 8 minutes that change the world. Thanks for watching.